and everything will be okay in the world. It's been 2 nights, and I only got 3 hours of sleep. But I'd like to get a night's sleep, but like it's not always like an option.
I've been homeless for like 4 years, but for the past 2 months, my situation's been a bit different. For the first 3 years, I was able to go from couch to couch or bed to bed. Life when I lived over at my mom's house was pretty much the same. I was out a lot, never really home. The minute my mom would go to sleep, I'd have like 4 or 5 people sneak in through the window because I lived in the garage, which was fucking stellar. Life was sort of the same because these days I'm pretty much doing the same thing except I live in a tent and in like various parks. Life in the tent?
It's not really, we don't really ever in the tent because it's not really like cozy like a home. We're just there to sleep and be kind of warm.
think about when you're going camping, right? You're all like, yeah, I'm fucking going camping. I'm gonna like get some firewood, I'm gonna get some marshmallows and a big old handle, and I'm gonna get fucked up with my friends.
Woo!
It's nothing like that. It's more like, sleep's good. That's a drink I just bought.
Bought it?
I bought it.
Right on.
I bought the drink. So, life before this was school, which I barely went to, and skateboarding, which I never really did, and playing music, which I actually did a lot of.
I've always had like homo tendencies. Like one of my friends in high school said, people just think you're like are scared to leave you because they think you're a sketch hobo. I'm like, what? It's like, because you're always sitting on the ground. And I'm like, so? Please run right there. I literally slept on foliage last night. We spend money really fast, even when we're not even drinking. We just smoke a lot of cigarettes, I guess, and he's really hungry. I can't do this anymore. Can't do this anymore.
What's going to school like when you're homeless?
It's like good, like sometimes I don't want to go. Then, and especially my big suitcase, I go to a school where there's a lot of hills, like a lot of steps, like not a lot of elevators, and like I just like listen to my industrial music, like just go hella fast, like move bitch, get out the way. I love it, like I'm using my brain again.
How's going from the tent to your job? How is that?
He was a trooper, dude. I want to be able to go to work like not showering yet, not changing clothes. Like sometimes he doesn't even brush his teeth. He still looks good, and I can never really smell him.
At a party at my friend's party, it was his birthday party. She was there and she was pretty much she was hammered. She was blacked out. Yeah, she was blacked out. And I was like a little bit drunk, but like I was also really high on crystal. And I was also high on like Oxy. Doesn't really matter what I was high on. So she was in this walk-in closet that Charlie had, just sort of like laying in there or like hanging out in there. And I go up to her and I'm like, hey, you want to go make out in the closet? And she said, yeah.
Yeah.
I can
understand that.
She bit my lip so
That
hard that she bit my lip so hard that it started bleeding, and I was like, all right, you know what? Fuck this.
No, you didn't say that. What did you really say?
I was thinking.
My mom pepper sprayed me the day after 420. I started yelling at her, and she's like, you're kicked out. I'm calling the cops before I'd even done anything, and then I'm like fucking mad as hell, so I like throw my desktop on my floor. It's all blur. I feel like I had an anger blackout, like what the fuck is going on blackout, and like and then I'm outside with like a duffel bag with a bunch of clothes I had just thrown in there. I guess according to a good friend, I did throw a punch at my mom, and then she pepper sprayed me, and then I just kept swinging, so she just kept doing it. But why the fuck was she already prepared for pepper spray?
My dad died when I was 8 years old, but we had a good relationship. Growing up without a father was a little bit weird. It sort of felt like growing up, I didn't really need one. With my mom, being young and like angsty in the way that we are when we grow up, like fucking especially in a suburban area like this, drugs like were definitely part of my childhood.
And being like, fuck you, to like everything.
When me and my mom get together, it's like, you know, we'll talk for like the first hour about like what's going on in my life, you know, or like what's going on with her. And then after that, it's just so like silent, but we still enjoy that. I remember living at my house in Palo Alto. I would just see her like sitting there either on weekends or weekdays, just like watching TV, and I always thought it was such a sad life. Like I was always wondered if she was happy or not. So I asked her one day, I said, "Are you happy?"
I never really got along with girls growing up. You know, I didn't get really good along with either gender till I was like 14. My good friend who lives in Santa Cruz, so she's moving to New York pretty soon, was my first friend ever. My second real girlfriend, who I met at the age of 6. What?
You could say her name.
Okay, Allie. Like when you look at her and you look at me, you're like, there's no way these two girls get along when you don't like see her vibrant, like fucking like open-minded personality. Because it's a big part of like my life. It's the first like tragic thing that really happened in my life.
So what happened?
On January 21st, God, I can't, I'm like, it's like, I'm shaking, I'm sorry, I'm shaking.
What happened?
She hung herself. I know, she was drunk. She would confide in me, and that's why I think we and her were really close, is because she knew I would never judge her. She really wanted to come off as perfect. Like she always, when she was in college, she was like doing super well, but then she like dropped out. And when she's had a job, she was like making a lot of money, being responsible, but then she dropped out because she had a problem with alcohol. And you know, she was drunk the night she did it. My first job, had it for a long time, and then I lost that job because of Allie's death, because it like just drove me off the deep end. So I moved to Santa Cruz with my friend. She got me a job at where she worked. I was like lonely, but it was giving me time to just self-reflect. Anyway, I got laid off. After that, I was like so done. Like it's stupid that affected me so much, but I was just like, I'm fucking sick of this. I fucking hate customers. Like, I hate putting this stupid smile on my face. I'm ready to get a job, even if it means not getting tips, if it means I'm like, maybe using my brain. The night Allie killed herself, I had a dream. Allie was in it, and we were walking through this storage unit. It's pitch black, right? And we were holding hands, and we were scared but excited at the same time. But then the dream never ended with us leaving the maze. It cut off. It's just like, it is selfish to kill yourself because of people who love you. I feel like she picked me to lead her through death. And I feel like I did because, and especially now, because I feel like I finally came out of the depression that started this year by my second real girlfriend's death. And it was the first tragic thing to happen to me. I've never been sexually abused, physically abused, verbally abused. No one in my family or someone close to me that actually knew has died before her, and she was so close to me.